Okay, what is up guys, Harmonious here, and I'm starting my vlog on a random street in the hills. I have to drive to Fry's Electronics right now to buy a water cooler for my CPU, but as I was driving right now, there was so much traffic. It's like 5:50, and this is actually like super traffic hour in LA, so I just found a low-key little street. I'm gonna park up, take some dabs, and probably skate some flat for like, I don't know, an hour, because the traffic is just so brutal. I'd rather just, I don't know, chill and smoke than wait in traffic, because I'm probably gonna get there at the exact same time. I'm either gonna sit in traffic for an hour, or wait an hour and then just drive there, you know, within 20-30 minutes or whatever. So basically that's the plan for now. Let's get it. Cue intro.
More harmonious world out there.
Harmonious. Very, very harmonious. Scrumptiously harmonious.
Peace.
This ain't funny, so don't you dare laugh.
I am now at Fry's Electronics, and I actually remembered that I have been here before a long time ago when I was a kid, and everything looks exactly the same. This dude was like here years ago. I have to find where the computer parts are, and also along my way here I was like driving through Mulholland. If you guys have ever driven through Mulholland, beautiful views. I really wanted to stop and get some time lapses, but I didn't. Yeah, I'm just gonna search around. Hopefully I find the crap I need. Okay, I am now at Max's house. He's right over there. I went to Fry's Electronics, so you guys already saw all that. But either way, I picked up my freaking CPU water cooler right here, thermal take. I was reading the reviews while I was at the store, and they were not looking too great. But I just ended up saying, F it, I really need a water cooler. Boom, Thermotake 3.0. We'll consider this an unboxing as well. I'm now a tech channel. Alright guys, so packaging, bullshit, I've seen better. Alright, let's see. Yeah, it smells fresh. Yeah, that's how you know it's good. And it does have some thermal paste on it already, so that is good because I didn't buy any. But boom, this is a water cooler. Okay, so first step of the water cooler installation is to remove the old CPU cooler, which I have already done. The second step of the installation is to remove the old thermal paste from the CPU, and right here I'm actually just adding rubbing alcohol onto an old rag, and I'm just going to be wiping it away. But when you're using rubbing alcohol, you have to make sure you don't use too much so you don't drip rubbing alcohol onto your CPU socket or your motherboard, so be careful with that. Okay, and for the third part of the installation, you actually have to check to see what CPU socket you need for the CPU cooler to be installed, because if you have a CPU set up like me, you're actually going to have to remove the motherboard, switch out the CPU socket to be able to screw in the CPU cooler. Other than that, you also have to make sure that you have enough space in your computer for the CPU cooler, for the CPU fans, and the radiator. What I'm doing right here is taking advantage of the time to do some wire management and also free up some space in my case for the CPU cooler and the radiator and the 2 extra fans. Okay, and as you can see, all I did was basically unplug all the wires and reroute them from the back of the computer. Most computers have this little space on the back panel or the side panel where you can hide all the wires. Okay, and for the fourth part of the installation, like I said earlier, I have to remove my motherboard to switch out the CPU socket so I can screw in the CPU cooler. So what I'm doing right now is actually removing my graphics card and all the components to my computer to take out my motherboard and change out that CPU socket.
This would be step 5, but at this point we realized that the radiator and the fans would not fit inside the computer because they actually interfere with the motherboard and the other components that sit on top of the motherboard. So we cannot screw in the radiator and the fans on the inside of the case. So what we actually had to do was screw in some other holes so we can reroute the radiator to sit on top of the computer on the exterior, on the outside. But to be able to reroute the radiator on the outside of the computer, we actually had to call in a friend of ours who can actually cut through metal, and he has all the tools needed. So he came by, cut a hole in the top of my computer, and what we actually had to do was remove all the components to my computer, and what you saw right there is actually a cardboard piece just protecting some other components of my computer. What we had to do is just cut out a tiny little rectangular slot just so we can fit the 2 hoses for the water that go to the radiator part of the CPU cooler. And to my surprise, we actually did a pretty good job cutting out that rectangle. We also were able to cut out some rubber barriers that we put along the sides so we can actually protect the hoses that go through there. And I think we actually did a pretty good job at it. It looks pretty nice. After all the cutting, we took out the air compressor to blast out any metal shavings that could potentially damage my motherboard or any other parts. Finally, after Max's help, we were able to get the CPU socket installed and all the other parts back in the computer. Here you can see we were able to get the fans installed in the inside of the computer case. And that is the radiator sitting on the outside of the computer case with the tubes going through the hole that we had to cut. Alright, after hours of planning, cutting, and smoking, we are finally installing the rest of the parts in the computer. Finally, after a test run, we successfully installed the CPU water cooler and all the parts we had to take out. Okay, we are now back in the future, and that was actually a really successful water cooler installation. This is like 1 month or like 1 month and a half later, and my computer is working perfectly fine. The water cooler is working perfectly fine, keeping my temperatures regulated, because before this, my CPU would get really hot. My computer would actually just completely shut off due to overheating and all that stuff. So really glad I got that water cooler installed. Thank you to Max. Thank you to Max's friend. I completely forgot his name, but thank you to Max's friend for helping us cut that hole into my computer and doing some, last second computer case fabrication. Or I have to say really quickly that filming tech videos is not really something I've done before. So I actually filmed, I think, 2 times the amount of footage I really needed. To edit this video, it took me much longer than expected. I actually filmed this like a whole month ago, and I only edited it now because I was not looking forward to going through all the footage I filmed. I literally filmed 3 memory cards full of stuff for this whole video, and as I was editing it, I have no idea why. I'm kind of dumb for that. Like I said, I've never filmed a tech video before, so I've seen a lot of tech videos, but I'm not exactly sure how they film it, what parts they film. So I was actually kind of like, it was a whole learning process. I'm hoping you guys like the way I filmed it, the way I edited the video or whatever. This is actually the first time I had to do some narration later on in the video, through my camera, but either way, this is probably going to be the end of my video, so please leave a like if you guys like this video. Please leave a comment, saying anything you want. Express your freedom of speech. If you guys are some, tech people, or you guys know anything about computers, tell me what I did wrong or what you thought was funny about this video. And do not forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I hope you guys have a good one. Peace.